Fox News is always looking out for women who want to be successful in businesses, who want to be career women. So they decided to create this segment called Girls Gone Mild, where they're giving women advice on how to succeed in their careers. And of course, it's absolutely awesome. Let's go to the first video.
So when it comes to women, you have some do's and don'ts. Some of the do's: wear simple statement clothes, well-cut jeans with a colorful top. Now, I never thought you should wear jeans to start with.
But on Wall Street, obviously a well-cut skirt, that fabulous shift dress, that's the way to go.
That's a woman using her asset.
Exactly.
So, okay, I actually don't think that video is the worst of their conversation. I think that was actually the mildest part of their Girls Gone Mild segment. Because it's true, the same goes for men. You want to be presentable when you go to work. But when he added you want to use your assets, I mean, it's basically saying, you better look fine in the workplace, because if you do, you might get that promotion, girl. Get it.
Well, that's what I, went, to. Because, look, that's a perfectly fine joke. That's the kind of joke I might make.
Yeah.
But in the context of telling women how to dress at work,
yeah.
like if you're telling them, hey, let me see your ass, because that might help you at your job, especially if you're a guy, that's not the direction I would have gone in.
Right.
But as Anna said, they're just warming up.
They're just warming up. All right, so let's go to the next video where they talk about how women should really focus on using their minds. Take a look.
Appearance comes in a distant third. Your workwear needs to make you feel invincible, not vulnerable.
So it's a tool.
It make you feel good for sure, but
Exactly.
you come under fire for it too. Focusing too much on looks, people say that women shouldn't be so focused about what we look like and what we're wearing,
Yes.
but what our mind can do, what our voice can do.
Yeah, so don't care too much about the way you look. I just find it a little ironic that that's coming from someone who's wearing the shortest skirt possible on a cable news network.
Well, as we've said before, there was an insider called The Mole, he called himself The Mole, that wrote a book about Fox News. He was a producer there for a long time. And they literally say at the sexual harassment things, no, your boss can tell you that you must wear skirts on air. We need to see your legs.
Yeah.
Okay. Real female empowerment there.
Yeah, and so far, the majority of the conversation is focused or centered around the way the woman looks, as opposed to, hey, you need to be more assertive, you need to be more open-minded to different ideas, take a leadership role. I mean, there are all these little things that you can pinpoint that could actually help you do better in the workplace. But Fox is actually against that, and the guest that they had on to talk about this is kind of against that as well. In fact, the woman should not be dominant in the workplace. Take a look at the last video.
Also, a little thing that you think is important is your presentation and your voice.
Yes.
Keep it low, don't speak loud.
Right. Under stress.
For women.
Well, men too, I think.
Okay, so I think that that's hilarious. They basically say that women should not talk so much. Later in the segment, they're like, don't talk too much, don't be too loud, don't be dominant in the room, because that could come off as obnoxious. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what they were saying. And that's terrible advice. I mean, you're telling your female viewers that they need to shut up and not take a leadership role when they're at the workplace, because, hey, that might be a little intimidating and that might be a little obnoxious for some people.
No, I love it. I mean, and especially because you got the two male anchors talking for most of the time, right? You got Kilmeade, who says, keep it low, don't speak loud. That's a quote, right? And then Ducey adds it, for women, okay, let's be clear. Men can say whatever the hell they want, okay, but you ladies, shh. Okay, hush up already, www.shh.com, right? And then later in the segment, as Anna pointed out, Ducey comes back and says, they already talked about how you should be quiet, right, in terms of the decibel level. And Ducey adds, quote, don't talk too much. So when you're talking, shush, but mainly stop talking. Okay, now how are you supposed to get promotion? How are you supposed to get ahead in the world?
When you're quiet at the workplace.
When you don't say anything. Would they ever say this to a guy?
And they would never say it to a guy. But what I always find really fascinating is whenever we talk about equal pay, one of the biggest arguments, and I actually think it's a legitimate argument, is that women are not as aggressive at negotiating their salary as men are. I think that's absolutely true, right? So conservatives will make that point all the time. They're like, well, of course they're not going to get paid equally. They're just not good at negotiating. They're not aggressive enough. And then you have segments like this where they're like, just shut your mouth and take it, okay? You're gonna take whatever you're gonna get. We don't wanna hear your ideas. Don't be too loud. And as Cenk said, just shush. That's not gonna get you far in the workplace.
I mean, I literally can't believe the segment.
Yeah.
It seems like it was done in the 1950s. Like, you see those things, like the old advertisements for what a wife should do when a husband comes home and he's tired from work.
Yeah.
Like, have all the food ready, make sure your makeup's ready, and you're ready to get on your hands and knees, and all these, like, insane things, right? Like, mean, that would be lovely, okay, but that's not all a wife is supposed to. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, they have two guys sitting there, and you're like, oh, yeah, they should shut the fuck up at work, right? I mean, like, we already let them into the workplace. I mean, look at our co-host here, lovely legs.
Yeah.
But bring it down, bring it down. But then I realized, well, their audience is from the 1950s.
Oh, that's a good point.
So
they're
why
pandering to their audience.
They're pandering to their audience. The average age of a Fox News audience.
Aren't they retired? Are they?
Literally retired, above the age of 70. Above the age of 70. So those 70-year-old geezers are going there and going, that chick with the nice legs. Yeah, just tell her to shut up. Yeah, you get him. Don't see it, Kelvin. I love these zany guys in the morning.